Hello, do you hear me well?
Oh, bye-bye. Very
Hello.
glad to see you.
Nice to see you.
Full screen, okay?
Full
You
screen.
are
Okay, I would like to start our conversation with with a word that I told you first, yes? And then we'll start our dialogue, okay?
okay, my dear.
Hello to everyone. My name is Iryna Boberets. I am the current president of Inner Will Club Odessa Black Sea, and we decided to make this format of conversation to support each other all over the world, just to keep in touch. From heart to heart, me and my friend from our big Inner Will Odessa Black Sea family are very happy to have a possibility to conduct this way in such a turbulent time. Our friends all over the world will have a possibility to see each other, if not to touch by hand, but to touch by heart. We would like to introduce this format of conversation to share our thoughts and feelings and to personally connect with our friends all around the globe. We erase all the borders in our minds. We know you and we love you and we admire things that you have done to the organization. But if there is a new member of Winner Will somewhere in the world, what would you like to tell her about you, who you are? Please, we now start our conversation with our guest, Luisa Vinciguerra. Yes?
Yes?
Luisa, hello.
Yes. Perfect.
Please tell us who you are.
Thank you. My name is Luisa Vinciguerra. I am 73 years old. I am married with Sergio for 48 years. He is a university professor, dean of the Faculty of Law, lawyer. I have two children, Elena and Giulio, both lawyers, and the little nephew, David. Only one. Graduated in pedagogy and sociology in my professional life, I have been a teacher and a trainer teacher. Mm-hmm. In my associative life, I have belonged to the Inner Will for 27 years. My club is Torino Europea, inserted in the District 204, Italy. The two highest positions held in the Inner Will were that of President of National Council and that of International Inner Will Board Director. I can say that many have been and are my activities and interest in the Inner Will. I have been a trainer for many years, invited not only by clubs and districts, but also at national and international level. Currently, I have in experimentation in my district my new innovative project using the methods of tutoring and mentoring. Mm-hmm. I am the author with a colleague of a manual of club, district, and national council, speaker at last 3 conventions. I wrote the book, The Inner Will Spirit, History and Qualities in Italian and English. I can say that I loved our association right away. And in addition to my frequent institutional commitments, I work for the Inner Will constantly, dedicating myself to the creation and cooperation of international projects intended to involve clubs of Europe. For example, Inner Will Literary Prize, Europe, 17 years. Women for Europe, the role of Inner Will, 12 years. Still in progress. Inner Will on the footsteps of Longobards in Europe, 8 years. Nutrition and Sustainability, 4 years. Very difficult to briefly summarize my personal commitment in Inner Will.
That's a great job.
Great job.
Great job.
A full job. Full job. Yes, very, very full job, but with great passion and love for our association. And step by step, year after year, I was involved very much in our commitment and studying the history and other. I would like to send you my book because I think that you can appreciate it.
Sure, for sure. I will write you my email address, okay? And you will send.
Okay, okay. I will send soon by
Thank you very
email.
much. Thank you.
Okay.
So, and now our turbulent times, how do you manage to remain confident in this trouble, in time of troubles and changes?
To maintain confidence in the greatness and goodness of inner will, in my opinion, is always necessary to have gained a deep knowledge and awareness. Changes are needed. It is important to focus on leadership, to have a ruling class. Also in inner will is important. So have a clear vision on the future to achieve our humanitarian but also cultural mission. I like to say that the inner will is constantly evolving, trying in this path to best combine tradition, roots, with innovation, trying to gradually redefine their identity in line with the change in society and the need of this century. It's not easy operation. Building the future take times. Changes take time, but they are inevitable in our association. We want to grow, to attract new members, especially young people, to be alive, vital, positive, proactive, adequate. This in normal times. In calamitous times, such as the current pandemic underway in the world, resilience must be activated because it is the ability to react to serious problems. In Italy, all the clubs immediately understood the gravity of the situation and activated important services in their territory to contribute to all emergencies, an incredible, efficient, and timely network of solidarity. But on the other hand, all activities of the clubs, district, national council have been suspended. The meetings, the trips, the conferences, the second annual assembly of the districts will probably be cancelled. Resilience also means devising way to attend to the required institutional fulfillment. We are working to define them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we will communicate, I think, online in this time.
Yeah, yes, yes. We are studying to create all the connection possible, to have the life institutional made, and the social meeting will be postponed when possible, of course.
And so we're very interested in life in your country in this special moment. So tell us about it a bit in details, probably.
Yes, Italy is suffering from the coronavirus pandemic and is paying a very high price for the infected and dead, a big, huge number. Disused hospitals have been reactivated. New hospitals have been opened very quickly. Multiplied the beds for intensive and subintensive transplantation. New doctors and nurses called. A really great effort to offer the opportunity to heal outside the desert. And the silence, broken by the sound of ambulances. Life is suspended, blocked. The quarantine that has already been in place for 3 weeks will be extended from time to time. It will be difficult to define the end of total isolation. The news that continuously bounces through the media give us data and images that squeeze the heart, which cause suffering, emotional participation, fear, like absolute solitude in death. The elderly decimated, a generation that disappears. but also admiration and gratitude for all health workers, for the government, civil protection, thousands of volunteers, and from foreign countries, for all who allow us to stay in the house through the maintenance of essential service. Immense gratitude. I also like to confide how anxiety is mitigated by faith in God and prayer. This is real. This is my experience in these
Doctors,
days.
especially doctors, are the avant-garde of this problem. They are the first line. And how do you
And
keep
the
in
first
touch?
line,
What can you share with us in this special moment?
the dramatic experience linked to the coronavirus will live on each individual signs, which are not very visible today. These are the psychological effects due to the more or less heavy disease experience, or the effect of quarantine, a living condition now imposed on most citizens of the world. Suddenly, we have all been called to new existence, which is reformulating the very concept of freedom, even if the reason is absolutely understandable and shareable, to save our lives and that of the people affected by COVID-19. And after the pandemic, a serious economic crisis is coming. A serious is at the door. The economic crisis in Italy and I think in all the world, because
all over the world.
The connection with other countries in Europe and not only.
So how do you keep in touch with each other?
Certainly, the current tools of communication allows us to be in constant contact, both in the family and also above all at the association level. The must use at once every day are WhatsApp chats, Messenger, normal calls or FaceTime, Skype, and Zoom platforms. In addition, the usual email correspondence. Facebook also helps a lot to keep in touch with the inner wheel world, increasingly present on these social media. My club is active every day through chats, and now we are trying to schedule club assembly through Zoom because in our national rules, a club assembly is scheduled every month in addition to the social meetings to make a serious decision and fulfill an institutional tasks.
Yes.
Yes.
We do the same way, yes. We communicate with each other through Facebook and through Zoom, and we keep in touch. The same. I think the same is all over the world, yes. And what do you
every
do?
Day,
Yes,
this is very good because every day we are in touch, every day. And this is important to create continuity in the communication.
Yes.
In serious arguments, but also in the, come posso dire?
In the way of friendship.
In the way of friendship.
And what do you do during the quarantine when you stay at home, for example? What? Yes.
Oh, given that my life with my husband has always been happy and in harmony, also for common interest. However, my fifth action to deal with the quarantine was to organize the time and space to assign me a new daily life. I have programmed the time and the place for managing a series of activities to be alternated during the days, in addition to the daily care task. They are physical activity, reading, work for inner wheel every day, but since a long time, I am now updating my book, preparing the third edition, meditation, prayer, video conversation with family, little David overall, phone calls with my special friends every day. And so my life is full, very
Just
full.
except going out. Well, so how do you think? How do you think? Now, please share your thoughts about how the world will change after this current time, and what lessons should we learn from this?
Each pandemic has changed the course of history. How our world will change with the COVID-19 has yet to be written. We only know that it will never be the same again. I think that our lifestyle will change immediately after the coronavirus, and that we will probably have to get used to a different way of life, using the mask, maintaining greater social distancing. Until we have a vaccine, we will have to adopt other behaviors, not use it, never. Speaking of normality in a few weeks or months is incorrect. Coronavirus, even in the long term, will radically change the way we use to socialize, shop, go to work, play sports, and all those activities that today are instead limited. I also think that many emergency measures, such as smart working or e-learning, could undergo a great acceleration even after the end of emergency. On the other hand, reflecting on the contents, it is clear that the fight against poverty will have to be more effective and therefore more robust economic growth. Welfare system will need to be renewed, improved health systems. The relationship with nature and the quality of the cities will play ever a great part in the interest of citizens. Science and education will rise on the scale of social values. It will take ideas and leadership capable of creating new balances in the world. Even the inner will have to invent and launch a new season to be renewed, to be more modern, going towards the centenary in 2024. I would like one day to speak with you about my vision of the inner wheel of tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe there will be a second chance.
Thank you very much. These words, they touched my heart, because Italy is one of my favorite countries. I try to visit it 3 times a year, and I hope we'll someday have a chance to meet each other, not by Zoom, but in real life. Thank you for your time that you have given to our organization and for this talk. I hope that all over the world, our girls, our women will see it and will hold in touch for for years to come. Okay, thank you very much for this.
Thank you to you for the opportunity. Thank you to you by heart.
Thank you very much. See you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.